Now, The Hunt Palmer Show.
Waiting to rise again.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show. Brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
This is the moment you've all been waiting for.
Locking down the middle of the day. Live from the Raising Cane studio. This is Hunt Palmer.
Welcome in. Hunt Palmer coming to you from the Raising Cane studio downtown in the capital city on this Friday. It means we're brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp. Got Jordan Kitchens, Cassie Spazzali back there on the ones and twos. Fired up. You are here with us. Preston Guy in 15 minutes talking LSU football. Big weekend of visitors on campus for LSU football this weekend. Corey Raymond has the number one corner in the country in town. Surprise, surprise. We'll talk about that and a little bit more with Preston Guy. I want to talk a little baseball in 30 minutes. The odds are out for Clemson and LSU in the season opener. We'll discuss some of that. ESPN ranked the top players in the college football transfer portal 1 through 100. How do LSU's class rack up? Basketball, men's and women's, coming up at 2:15. So lots to do on this Friday. Let's crank it up the way we do every single day with our opening drive.
Welcome to the big league.
It's time for Hunt's Opening Drive. Presented by Fabry Chevrolet GMC in St. Francisville.
Senior Bowl winding down in Mobile. New Orleans Saints obviously have a huge presence. We've had quite a presence down in Mobile over the last 5 days off the bench, broadcasting Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Ross Jackson, LouisianaSports.net has been there. So we've had a lot of coverage, a lot of action. And finally, yesterday, Mickey Loomis met with the media for the first time down there in Mobile, the only time down there in Mobile. And it's one of the few off-season looks we get at the Saints. And I don't expect Mickey Loomis to peel back the curtain too much, but there were some pertinent questions that he did answer, and I was curious about it. It started with, like, okay, you got coaches on the Senior Bowl staff. Like, what does that mean for the organization?
The league asks you to submit names of guys that, would like to, coach in these all-star games, and, we submit a list. You expect one or two to get picked, and we had 9 picked total between the Senior Bowl and the East-West game, and it is a good advantage for us because we get we get a lot of good information on the players that are here, that they coach, and it's a good experience for our staff and good for our personnel department.
And I think that's a boring soundbite, quite frankly. Why'd you play it? Well, one, he's more interesting than me because he's in charge of the Saints, and I sit here for 2 hours a day. And two, because it's true. It is an important week. It's a great experience for the staff, and we've talked about it all week. It's a big deal for the Saints to make things happen in this draft. And they did it last year with 5 Senior Bowl picks, and Mickey Loomis talked about the impact of the Senior Bowl on last year's draft class.
Look, that's a credit to our to Jeff Ireland and our college scouting staff, and all of our personnel department. Look, it's not our first rodeo. We've had plenty of good drafts over the years, and hopefully this last year was a good one. It was a good first year, but let's wait a few more years before we judge that.
And the Senior Bowl is such a small part of this entire process, right? You've got years of tape. You've got combine to come. You've got pro days. You've got interviews. You've got medicals. There are lots of things that go into the draft process. So the question is, like, how much can Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday practice a Senior Bowl, the walkthrough on Friday, and playing in the game on Saturday? Like, how much can that improve a guy's stock?
I don't know how you want to measure that. It's most of the work that gets done after the season is usually an affirmation, a confirmation of what you believe already, and so that's just part of the process.
Just a part of the process, but I'm just not going to downplay it. Not in this offseason. There are some off seasons, peak breeze, that, okay, if your 4th, 5th round pick hits, awesome. If it doesn't, we're pretty damn good anyway. We got one of the 5 best quarterbacks in the league. We won 13 games last year. We've got one of the toughest run defenses in the league. Like, y'all know what the prime Saints was. And if you hit on your 4th round pick there, great. Like, that's good. If you didn't, well, you're still probably going to be pretty damn good. If the Saints miss on these draft picks, there's no way to dig themselves out of this hole. They can't get any younger if they don't hit on draft picks. The more times you draft Isaiah Foskey, the more times you find yourself at the bottom of the division. Just part of the deal. The easiest way to get better and younger and cheaper is the draft, and one of the pieces to the puzzle is, of course, the Senior Bowl. Now, let's move towards the draft. what's the focus? What are the Saints trying to do? And I understand that the Saints brass, nor is any brass in the NFL, going to immediately divulge their entire offseason plan, right? That's just not realistic, and I don't expect them to. I would be disappointed if the Saints did divulge their entire offseason and draft plans. But the question was asked, and I think it's a reasonable one, and I was curious to see the response. Like, okay, is there a focus on getting Tyler Shuck more weapons? Because those of us that sit back here and watch as fans, those of us that analyze the team, we think that's a huge need. What do you think?
I think, look, we got a young quarterback, and you want to have a good defense. You want to have great protection up front, and you want to, give him playmakers to get the ball to. I mean, you'd want to do that for any quarterback. So, yes, that's the goal. Absolutely, it's the goal. But it's a goal for every team with every quarterback.
Okay. A weak answer, but I'm gonna let him off the hook on that. I don't need a strong answer. I just told you that. It was a weak answer. I think if you were asking me that question, I would probably say something to this effect. We feel really good about some of the pieces we have in our building, and we're always looking for great playmakers to make plays. I think you saw us banged up a little bit at the end of the year, and we realized that depth is important there. So certainly that's something we're going to explore, like something a little bit more. He just dismissed the entire question like, well, everybody needs playmakers, and we got to protect him. Like, okay, it's fine. Like, y'all know my stances on press conferences at the whole. I don't demand answers in press conferences like most fans do. I demand answers on the scoreboard. I demand answers in results. Whether or not you tell me the truth in a press conference doesn't really matter to me. Lie about injuries all you want. I don't really care. I don't want you to win the press conference and then go lose games. That doesn't make me feel any better. Go win games. And that's the task that Mickey has. And that goes for everybody here. One of the pieces to the puzzle this offseason is Demario Davis, who had some interesting things to say over the past week. Said that, look, I believe I'm going to return to the NFL. And then he didn't mention the Saints specifically. Now, we know Demario feels incredibly passionately about the Saints, about the city of New Orleans. That's obvious. And it's been obvious for this portion of his career, which will be the most highlighted portion of his career. The Saints found him on the scrap heap, and he became an all-pro. But is that enough to just keep him around, or does he have demands? And so that is going to have to be worked out. And Mickey Loomis was asked about Demario Davis specifically.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. I heard it. Look, we love Demario. Wanting to be back and hope he's back. But we'll get through that.
Sometimes I just play sound bites just so you can hear them. I love Demario, and we'll figure it out. Again, the vibe of this press conference was a man who is in Mobile to get some work done, and they told him he had to get in front of a microphone. And I do not blame Mickey for that at all. I blame Mickey for a lot of things in the Saints organization. I do not blame him for the demeanor in this press conference. I could have put a little bit more meat on that bone, but he didn't want to, and that's okay. But I thought that was a humorous soundbite, to be quite frank. The other piece, and it's on a different end, is Brian Brzez's option. We talked about it yesterday, whether or not the Saints would pick up that option, and I thought it was a very down-the-middle deal. Like, you talk about some of these guys, Lattimore and Ramchick, that we talked about, like, obviously we're picking that option up. Olave was in that mix, like, obviously you were going to pick that up. And there are some guys you looked at and you're like, well, there's no chance. You're not picking up Trevor Penning's option. You're not picking up Peyton Turner's. Like, that wasn't going to happen. Brzee is interesting because flashes, yes. Consistency, no. Position that's difficult to identify, yes. Like, could you get an extension done? There are a lot of options there with Brzee. Here's what Mickey had to say.
We'll get to that. We haven't, again, we just, we're early in the process here, and timing's a little different this year because of the number of people we have in this game, but we'll get to that soon.
I thought there was a little meat on that bone. We're actually all here looking at the draft, and we'll get to that. I'm sure they put a lot of thought into it. I'm sure they have a plan there, and I'm sure that they'll put that in action. He didn't talk about the player there at all, which I thought you might hear. But again, this is just not something I'm going to hold Mickey's feet to the fire to. I hold your feet to the fire on doing the right thing in the draft, not trading 3 draft assets to move up 9 spots in the draft. Like that, I'll hold your feet to the fire on that. If the team comes out next year and doesn't have playmakers because you took another offensive lineman in the first round and this happens, I will hold Mickey's feet to the fire on that. This press conference, probably not. I thought the New Orleans media assembled there in Mobile asked the pertinent questions, asked about weapons for Shuck, asked about DeMario, asked about Shuck, asked about the value of the Senior Bowl. Like, I thought that the questions were adequate. I did not think that there was a significant amount to be gleaned from it, and there may not be. I still, despite the lack of information from the press conference, believe there is a significant impact on the franchise in this offseason, more so than many in previous years. Other than drafting your quarterback, which you did last year, like that's always going to overshadow most other off seasons if it turns out that Shuck's your quarterback for 8 or 10 years. But this is a big one to get the pieces in place for your new quarterback, and we'll see just what the Saints do. And hopefully this week has been a huge help to them. The hay's pretty much in the barn for the Senior Bowl. You're not going to have a full speed practice today and tomorrow. The game is an exhibition. It's what it is. The practice reps are the most important piece to that. Plus, there are some speed dating interviews, and then the fact that the Saints have had coaches in the huddle, on the sideline, in the meeting rooms that have had extra time that other organizations haven't gotten with these players. Like, that's the most important part, and that part is over. Now it's about bringing that information back to New Orleans and making it pay when it has to pay come draft time. So that's a look at the New Orleans Saints here on this Friday, brought to you by Cork's Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp. We will step aside. We will come back with Preston Guy talking LSU, a little recruiting, and a little bit on LSU's win-loss over-under total that Preston was tweeting about earlier today. We'll do that when we come back.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
First American Bank and Trust. First American Bank and Trust. You're a business, need a loan? First American Bank and Trust. You are looking to own that home of your dreams. First American Bank and Trust. Whether you're in St. Tammany or Tangipahoa or Hammond up along the I-12 corridor, maybe you're near Baton Rouge, Dutchtown, Jones Creek, maybe down in the river parishes, St. James, St. John, Lafourche, Terrebonne. No matter where you are in southeast Louisiana, there is a First American Bank and Trust right there around you. There's 25 locations, and they've been at it for 116 years. The people that work there are committed to their community. And the people that work there are committed to First American Bank and Trust. They average 25 years of experience with the bank in their management positions. The decisions that are made on your loan for your business or your home are made locally right here in southeast Louisiana. And those 25 locations mean they've got the assets to give you the options that you need. It's First American Bank and Trust. Go by and see them. Branch, they want to wish everybody a happy new year here in this January. Go by and see them at First American Bank and Trust.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google. Based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we know this and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas.
This is the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
Friday shows brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp. Check out the menu, corksfishandshrimp.com. Get you a po' boy on this Friday afternoon between Foster and Jefferson on Government. It's Corks. They bring you our Friday shows. Preston Guy, part of those Friday shows, talking Tiger football. He's from TigerBait.com. Preston, how are you?
Hunt, what's going on?
Not a lot. Trying to stay warm, waiting for baseball. That's kind of where I am at this current juncture. But there's a lot of LSU football news at the moment. I want to talk to you one thing about what you tweeted about a little earlier. I think it was today. LSU's win total, 9.5. How you feel about it?
Yeah, it's a lofty number. Maybe doesn't sound crazy when you think about it, but when you consider LSU plays Texas A&M at Ole Miss, Texas and Alabama, with Texas and Alabama being back-to-back games, then you layer in some tricky games like, on the road at Auburn, on the road at Tennessee. That's a pretty high number, given that I'm not so certain that we saw, maybe 2023 we saw 9.5 for this team in Vegas, but certainly that wasn't the normal under the Brian Kelly tenure. So it seems like right off the bat, Vegas has a lot more faith in LSU than it really ever had during the whole Brian Kelly tenure going into the season, despite an absurdly difficult schedule, at least absurdly difficult going into the season, it looks like.
We know Vegas is in it to make money. They don't care. And we know that fans are always going to lean over no matter where you are. If you're over under 4.5 or 11.5, you lean over if you're a fan. Like, how do you feel like the expectation level is going to be in Baton Rouge come August?
Well, I'll say this. For those people given the $40 million or more that they've invested, I mean, you got to think $54 million buyout, $13 million a year for Lane Kiffin, plus all those assistants. The coordinator's making $2 million plus a year. I think Blake Baker's making $3 million. And then the $40 million roster. For the people paying this insane amount of money, certainly their expectations are going to be pretty high, right? As far as fans' expectations themselves, I mean, I think that the expectation conversation is going to be a lot more simplified in Baton Rouge for the foreseeable future. It's make the playoffs or bust, and then maybe every once in a while, if you get a particularly stacked roster with a bunch of people returning, it's going to be like, okay, don't just make the playoffs, go win it all. So yes, and I think that the expectation this year is going to be the same one it's been since the 12-team playoff was introduced. Make the playoffs and then look like a contender when you're there.
3 out of Lane Kiffin's last 4 years, he would have made a 12-team playoff at Ole Miss, so we'll see what happens here in Baton Rouge. I'm watching Twitter, as we now get to do with the head coach, and you kind of see where he is all the time. I realize that this staff in a lot of places on the offensive side is new to Louisiana. How do you feel like they're anchoring themselves with the high school ranks, which doesn't get as much pub as it used to, but it's still important?
Yeah, I can tell you this. I've been talking to some other recruiting guys on the trail, and I said, I don't remember at any point during the Brian Kelly tenure these guys working the roads like this staff is doing. And I don't just mean that to take a shot at the former staff. The question was like, is it that they're posting on social media and that we're now all of a sudden more attuned and aware, or was it actually, and the thing was, the last staff, they really much so had this strategy of let's get these giant events at LSU, bring them to LSU, and they weren't really on the roads working those relationships nearly as much as the staff is doing, right? And, basically when talking to guys, it's like this is straight out of the Ogeron-Saban playbook, right? Like, we're going to get aggressive and get to knowing people. So, Lane Kiffin he's in Ruston today. He was in Shreveport yesterday, Lafayette the day before that. They're flying all over the country. They've already met the 5-star corner, Josh Dobson, and now he's coming in for a visit this weekend. They paid a visit to Albert Simeon, the 5-star offensive tackle. This staff seemingly has not slept since they got hired. So for those who were upset about work ethic accusations for Brian Kelly in that tenure, there's no way you can accuse this staff of not working and busting their tail off, because they're traveling the country and live tweeting about it as they go.
All we have are comparisons to the last staff, so I don't find it to be a shot at the last staff. It's just, it is our discussion point, and it just feels like there's a different energy from the head coach here. Am I reaching there, or is it just because it's new? Like, I'm not sure what to feel about it. I just feel like LSU, across the landscape of all their sports, if you put a lot of effort into it, you can have a ton of success. And you would be hard pressed to find someone who is suggesting Lane Kiffin is not giving a lot of effort. They may not like him, but he's giving a lot of effort.
Yeah, that and going from Brian Kelly to Lane Kiffin, that's like listening to West Coast swing to Boosie. It's just polarizing, the different personalities and approaches to this kind of stuff. And yeah, it is natural to compare the two. But it's just, they're literally, it's funny because culture fit was brought up. And of course, me, you, and everybody in the media said culture doesn't matter, go win games. Because, we were coming off of a stretch in LSU history where we had Johnny Jones and we had Ed Ogeron, and culture was just 10 out of 10 fits, but it didn't necessarily win on the field. And we were tired of talking about culture, and we wanted wins. And now we want both. We want culture and wins. And it just seems like without many of these coaches actually having been from Louisiana, these guys just get it. They're just buying in and learning. Kevin Smith ordering Boudin and posting Boosie lyrics, and Lane Kiffin is posting the not safe for work version of a Neck rap song on his Instagram I remember talking about the Lane Kiffin premise of him coming. I'm like, I feel like Lane Kiffin is the Neck, for the safe for work version of this, the Neck of college football coaches. He would lean in and fit this fan base perfectly, and it does seem like it does feel like it fits early on.
How do you feel about the importance of high school recruiting?
Yeah, I still believe in it, Hunt. I think, but you have to pair it with retention and development as well. And of course, you're going to have to supplement in the portal, and you're going to have to look at guys who aren't developing and not working, and you're going to have to say, look, I'm not tying more resources into you, man. You want to go take that offer from whomever, go take that offer from whomever. I also don't know that you should necessarily, let's put it like this. I think there's a handful of players at the high school level that are truly worth investing if you can lock them into a long, multi-year deal, right? That being said, I know for a fact this coaching staff prefers to use their financial resources on the portal in high school. It's still important. Part of what makes LSU a special job is the Louisiana talent. Go look at that 2023 offense. Where did those guys all come from? Yes, you got Jaden Daniels from the portal, Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas. The championship teams, every championship team LSU has produced, littered with Louisiana talent and ties, right? Sure, you had to go find a quarterback from elsewhere in every single one of those rosters, and that's probably going to be the case for a while, although Pop Houston might have something to say about that. But you've got to lock down your state, and you got to retain and keep them. I think high school recruiting still matters. I just think it matters less And I think that you have to do other things to win with it.
Yeah, I mean, that 23 offense also featured Will Campbell and Emory Jones, who you would forget about when you're thinking about getting the ball out there, but those two guys were pretty good on the tackles as well. You mentioned Pop Houston. I didn't have that on my note card here to ask to you, but, like, how do you feel about his commitment to Lane Kiffin and how that is going to materialize?
It's interesting because this 2027 class, you've got Elijah Haven and you've got Pop Houston. I don't know. They were in on Colton Nussmeier, but I feel like that was more of a previous staff connection to Nussmeier. This staff has no connection to Garrett or Doug or even Colton, right? And Colton Nussmeier really does not fit the system at all, right? Pop Houston is a very good fit for Lane Kiffin offense. In fact, Lane Kiffin and Joe Judge and Dane Stevens and Weiss all recruited Pop Houston to Ole Miss. Now, one thing that caught me off guard, actually talking to Elijah Haven and his family, they weren't really recruiting him to Ole Miss. Not really heavily. I don't know if this staff feels Elijah Haven is a fit or not. I'm not denying it or confirming it. I'm just saying it is a different style player than Pop Houston, slower release, likes to be tall in the pocket, throw the ball downfield, strong arm, right? He threw for 62 touchdowns this year, and he runs when he needs to, whereas Pop Houston very much so uses his legs as an asset. But we're talking about a quarterback who is 6'6" versus a quarterback who's 5'10" in Pop Houston. So it's just such an interesting dilemma. It's because you've got the number one quarterback in the country in your own backyard. Are you really going to let him go? Because maybe, my speculation, not coaching, I haven't heard this directly from a coach, because he doesn't fit your system quite as well. It's an interesting dilemma. I would argue my best wish would be coaches, they get both those quarterbacks, but of course that's easier said than done. But Elijah Haven recently put out his top 4, and LSU did not make the cut. So they definitely have some work to do to get back in there. I'm not so certain that this coaching staff has made contact with Elijah Haven directly in person since they've arrived.
Last one here, Preston. I appreciate a little bit of time. Charlie Weiss Jr. continues to get overtures. It started with Ole Miss right out of the gate, and then the Eagles, and now the Giants have been reported. Like, how key a cog is he in this wheel? It doesn't seem like he's long for Baton Rouge, but what are your thoughts on him being here in 2026 and how important he is to LSU?
Well, if you're turning down the Philadelphia Eagles offensive coordinator job, I mean, that's fairly indicative of you're going to stick in place, right? I mean, like, what offensive weapons would you want in the NFL to be successful? I mean, you got Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Smitty. You got,
Saquon Barkley's pretty good.
Saquon Barkley is pretty good. Yeah, he's a solid player, I'd say. I mean, you won a Super Bowl 2 years and went to one 2 years before that. I mean, my God. So if you're turning that down, I'm not so sure Jackson Dart and Cam Spadabu, both coming off injuries, are that much more appealing than Charlie Weiss to him than those guys would be. So I think he's set for 2026. He said he's set for 2026 multiple times. As far as how big of a cog is he? Well, I think Lane Kiffin is the engine, right? And I think no matter who's calling plays, Lane Kiffin is going to have an offense that's moving the ball. If he has to call plays himself, or maybe goes to like a guy like Dane Stevens, the young quarterback coach who called plays at Western Georgia, okay? They will move the ball well. Now, it's probably best case scenario that you get Charlie Weiss Jr. to do it. Continuity, knows the system, elite play caller. We saw what Charlie Weiss Jr. did on his own at Ole Miss. That's the best case scenario. But this offense is going to put up points one way or another.
I believe that, too. We will have to wait until Labor Day weekend to see. Preston Guy, TigerBait.com, covering all things LSU football with us on Fridays. Have a great weekend, man.
All right, see you soon.
That's Preston Guy, always with us on these Fridays. Our Friday show is brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp, crispy fried catfish, jumbo Gulf shrimp, shoestring fries, delicious stuff. Right there on Government between Foster and Jefferson. Swing on by for a late lunch or grab some food this weekend over at Corks. When we come back, I want to talk some baseball. Saw some arms yesterday. We're getting closer to opening weekend. I've got real questions about one guy's role. We'll do it next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Highland Insurance Group, HighlandIG.com is the website. It's Jonathan Carver and his team. They're awesome. It's got such expertise, and I tell you about their property and casualty all the time, talk about their employee and group benefits as well. But captives are a big, big deal. And if you're not aware of a captive or don't know about captives, have not been proposed a captive, has not been mentioned to you by your broker, you might be a fit. If you're a sizable company, if you spend a significant amount on your insurance premiums, if you've got great loss history and a good risk management department, you might fit. And it might be a complete game changer for your bottom line as a business. So if you haven't been pitched a captive because your broker either doesn't know how to handle that or doesn't have access, the Highland Insurance Group does. They do it all the time. Call Jonathan Carbo, reach out at highlandig.com, say, hey, got a renewal coming up, and we're hurting a little bit on the premium side. Is there a way to change this? And they will take a look and see if you're a fit. If you are, man, can it be a difference maker? I've seen it in my time in insurance, and the Highland Insurance Group does it as well as anybody. So check them out online at highlandig.com. It's the Highland Insurance Group, highlandig.com.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at LockeMeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Quirks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
From today, the opening day out at Alec Box Stadium will be LSU in Milwaukee. I checked on the extended forecast in Milwaukee between now and when they'll get on the plane, I'm assuming next Thursday. There is one high of 31. That's the high water mark. Most of the highs right around 20 in Milwaukee.
Okay.
From now until when they get on the plane.
Now, what are we looking at then? What are we looking at?
So they're going to get in a gym in practice, I'm sure, and they will drop 4 pop-ups opening weekend.
Most definitely.
That's how that goes. But they got to come down here and play. Everybody's got to leave. And we played North Dakota State last year, and you send somebody down from the from the great Midwest or the Northeast every year, and they hadn't been outside all year, and that's just the way that it goes in college baseball for the first couple of weeks. I'm not really worried about Milwaukee. I'm more worried about LSU. Not worried. Concerned with, I should say. I want to say I'm worried. I want to talk about two pitchers. They happen to share a name. They both pitched yesterday, Cooper Williams and Cooper Moore. You know Cooper Williams, sophomore, left-hander, was committed to Texas A&M. So last thing goes to Texas. LSU swoops in, grabs him. He comes in last year. Big old lanky left-hander, short arm, three-quarter release. And I thought threw the ball well last year. I mean, the statistics are excellent last year for Cooper Moore. You're talking about 20 innings of work. His ERA was 1.8, was very good. He only allowed, I think, 4 earned runs on the season. 2 of them were in a game against Northwestern State, and then 1 against South Carolina in the season finale, and 1 against West Virginia. But he was very, very good in short stints all year until Jay Johnson gave him a little bit of a leash late in the season. If you'll recall, in the game LSU lost to Little Rock, LSU had a chance to close out the regional in 3 games, and they got smoked by Little Rock Sunday night. But that wasn't Cooper Williams' fault. They put him in the game, and he went 3 2/3 innings. Only allowed 3 hits, did not allow a run, struck out 4, and walked 1. Was really good in that game. They gave him the ball against West Virginia. He went 2 2/3 innings in that game. So in the 2 regionals combined, the regional and the super, he went 6 1/3 inning and gave up 1 run on 4 hits, had 5 strikeouts and just 2 walks. Good effort. But as I watch Cooper Williams, I don't see stuff. I like stuff. Like strikes first, and that's what Cooper Williams gives you. But I like stuff, as most pitching coaches do. I like the radar gun. I like sharp breaking stuff. And I don't see a lot of that from Cooper Williams. It's like 92. It's a good breaking ball. You see a change up here and there. And as someone who's not a pitching coach or a scout, like, I watch him pitch and I'm like, I like that he's getting everyone out. I'm not sure why. Like, even guys that don't throw hard, like to go back, and the example everyone always brings up is Chris Cotton. But I know why Chris Cotton got everybody out, because he threw nothing but strikes first. He didn't walk anybody, and he had a great changeup. Like, I could see that. So you don't have to throw the hardest, but I can see that is why you get guys out. Cooper Williams, I would put, and they are completely opposite body types, but I think the arsenal is fairly similar to Riley Cooper. We're left-handed, kind of 3/4. We're not throwing 96. We are going to throw it over the plate. It's a bit of a frisbee breaking ball, and go get it. And most teams don't. And yesterday, LSU didn't hit Cooper Williams very much. The pitching staff extended him out to 4 innings, and he did a great job. So, Mike, I don't know where they're going to put him. I think there's a possibility he fits into the back end of the weekend rotation. If you want to slide a left-hander in there, he's likely the best option right now. Is he the long man? Maybe. I don't see him as a closer option. Zach Cowan, though he's right-handed, is similar in the velocity category as Cooper Williams, maybe just a tick higher. But he's got a great changeup. And I just don't necessarily see the plus pitch from Cooper Williams. And that's why I hesitate to plug him in forcefully anywhere in my projection in this LSU staff. I'm curious about it. I think that the people that are listening to this segment might go, man, he's like really down on Cooper Williams. That's not it. I think I'm high on Cooper Williams. I'm just struggling with my analysis of him, if that makes sense. And I'm very excited over the first 4 weeks of the season to analyze that and dig deeper on it. Where do they put him? How much success does he have? How many pitches does he throw? Is it the same type of line scores as last year, where it's a lot of strikes, not as many strikeouts, and you generally keep them off the scoreboard? He did strike guys out yesterday. He had big strikeout numbers. Some was on the heater, some was on the breaking ball. So obviously his stuff's a little bit better than my eye is telling me, but I'm excited to get to watch him a little bit more and very curious where he slots in. If you made me guess right now where Cooper Williams pitches on weekend one of the season, I think he will start Sunday. I think he's the Sunday starter the first weekend. Keep in mind that always changes. Last year, Chase Shores was your starter on opening weekend. He was your closer by the end of the year. It always changes. Riley Cooper was a starter 2 years ago in LSU's first rotation. You just never know how the ebbs and flow of the season are going to go. I think right now he's probably their third starter. I'm very curious how that works out. Well, who's their second starter, you might ask? I think it's Cooper Moore, and I think you saw it yesterday. His MO is a little bit more apparent to me because what I've seen from him in the fall and then early on in these preseason practices looks a lot like what I saw on the line scores at Kansas. If you look at him last year, he was second team All Big 12 as a starter at Kansas. He was 7-3, which doesn't really matter, in 14 starts. His ERA was a hair under 4, 3.96, in 88 2/3. 85 strikeouts, which is a nice number, not dominant, not completely pitched to contact, a nice number. 85 strikeouts in 88 2/3 innings, only 19 walks. So you're looking at better than 4-1 strikeout to walk. And that's what I've seen. I've seen a guy who throws a lot of strikes, who doesn't walk a lot of guys. There is a ball in play some, but he is usually able to limit damage because he keeps the ball in the ballpark and because he doesn't walk anybody. And that's what I've seen from him at this point. I told you about him last week after I saw him the first time in the preseason. I told you about the velocity and the off-speed stuff. Fastball right about 94, 93 is where he'll settle in. And the slider he throws has high velocity for his pitch arsenal. The drop-off from fastball to slider is only like 93 to 88, 93 to 87. That's only 6 miles an hour. But he throws it hard. And that's something that stood out to me. I think he is very likely your second starter on opening weekend behind Evans. I think it's Evan, Moore, Williams. But that's not set in stone. Kason Evans hasn't been awesome in preseason. That's not of huge concern to me. I'm paying attention because, and this is something I'm going to get into down the line, but you've seen guys not translate. Gabe Gackle last year at Arkansas had to go back to the bullpen. Zach Hess at LSU had to go back in the bullpen. I'm not telling you that's what I think is going to happen, but it does happen sometimes. We're monitoring. It's just part of the deal. When you don't bring back an ace, you got to find one, and I think Kason Evans gives LSU a great shot. And if you turn on the highlight tape of the Little Rock game last year, turn on the highlight tape of the UCLA game last year, you turn on some of those highlight tapes and you'll feel a lot better than what Hunt's saying immediately because he was awesome last year, no doubt. Just been hit a little bit, and LSU's got a really good lineup. A lot of good hitters over there. They'll hit you a little bit. But I think that there are spots to be had in the weekend rotation. Right now, I like where Cooper Williams and Cooper Moore are. I thought they threw the ball very, very well yesterday, and I think you're trending towards that. I think Jay Johnson's plan was to go with these four guys, Evans, Cooper Williams, Cooper Moore, and Cowan on Wednesday of the first scrimmage week, which was last week, Thursday of the second, which was yesterday, Friday of next week, which is a week to opening day, and then have them ready for Friday and Saturday of opening weekend. That's the natural progression that I think you've seen from him over the years, and that's what I've been told they're looking to do. So go out there for a scrimmage next Friday. You're going to see those four guys pitch, and then they'll be ready for opening weekend, and I think that's the way they'll stack up. I liked what I saw from those guys yesterday. I'm comfortable with what Moore is. I hope that he becomes their third starter and that someone with a little more upside grabs that second slot. William Schmidt, Marcus Paz. But you're going to have to see if those guys can step forward and become that. Right now, I think that's where you are with those guys. Either way, the two Coopers are going to play a pretty big role on this team. Interesting that I compared Riley Cooper there. That's the third Cooper just on the last name. Name games. Fun. That's some LSU baseball for you here. LSU Clemson. The line is out on FanDuel. I was surprised. I'll tell you what it is next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Love to tell you about our friends at Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Fabry Chevrolet GMC. They're on Highway 61 in St. Francisville. Huge inventory of new and pre-owned Chevrolets and GMCs. It's a new year. Looking for a new ride. Maybe that lease is about to expire. Maybe your car feels like it's on its last leg. Maybe you just want to see what's out there. Whatever your situation is, if you're looking for a Tahoe, looking for a Suburban, looking for a Silverado, Yukon, Denali, you see those on the road, that's a good-looking car. Go see it at Fabry Chevrolet GMC. You can trust the Fabry family. You have for 35 years. Amazing buying experience, great customer service after the sale. You get that with the Fabry family, and you get that now at Fabry Chevrolet GMC. New ownership as of October 1st. They would love to have you come on by and see them. So make that short drive to St. Francisville or check them out online at FabryChevrolet.com, FabryChevrolet.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you'll likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim, which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is you, call us or come see us at Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories,
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Corks, Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp.
Going to be chilly tomorrow. High's like 37. So outdoor activities probably not in the mix. However, you can go to Marucci. Trying to get ready for that baseball season? Trying to get ready for that softball season? Go to Marucci. Take some hacks in the indoor cage. Hitter's House is available to you right here in Baton Rouge. Don't want to take swings in the batting cage? Well, go take a tour of Marucci. You can do that. Their campus tours are awesome. They'll show you where they make the official bat of Major League Baseball. How many do they make in a day? 1,200. 1,200 bats made every single day here in the capital city, sent out to the best players in the world. If you want to check out one of the coolest facilities in Baton Rouge, go do it over at Marucci. Book a campus tour online, maruccisports.com/campus-tour. Just go to maruccisports.com, click the campus tour link right there. Bring a softball team, bring a baseball team, bring a class, bring your family. Marucci here in Baton Rouge. All right, Jordan. You
Yes,
sit
sir.
there and listen to Sports Today every day, don't you?
I have no choice.
Well, you have a choice.
Well, I mean, it was my job, my career.
That's
yeah.
it. You listen to some gambling, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
You're an expert, right?
Don't take my gambling advice, no.
Do you know what the line is for LSU and Clemson?
No, I do not.
I would
know.
love your guess.
Okay.
As you guess, the listener will guess alongside you.
Okay, well, I know it's in Death Valley.
It
the
is.
real Death Valley. I mean, Sam Levitt, you know, you got the Lane Kiffin effect. Clemson, I can't name anybody to bring it back anyways. Do we know what time the game is? Is it at night? I'm assuming it's at night. It's got to be at night. It's August. Yeah, it's at nighttime. Okay, it's going to be at night. You know, it's going to be rocking.
Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, Lane Kiffin
Saturday
first
night
game.
in Death Valley. That's going to be.
Yeah, okay. Well, we know it's at nighttime. Ooh, college spreads do be kind of disrespectful. I'm going to say it's over 10 points. Not too high, not like over 10. I'm going to say like 9.5 maybe.
10.5.
10.5? Okay.
I'm a little stunned.
Yeah,
a little stunned. LSU's bringing in 42 new transfers. 15 new freshmen. I'm not good at math. That is 57 new players.
It's a lot.
New offensive staff, new head coach, quarterback that's right now injured and can't play football.
Very true.
And Clemson is a 10.5-point dog on FanDuel to LSU. That is jarring. But it does make sense. As you mentioned, Clemson loses all those dudes, Parker and Woods on the defensive line. They lose their big running back who trains.
Forever.
Of course, if they lose your quarterback in Cade Klubnik. They bring back, I believe, one of those super talented wide receivers, and they don't do a lot in the transfer portal. I'll spill the beans right here. I'm going to do it in the next segment. At the top of hour 2, ESPN ranked the top 100 transfers 1 through 100. I'm going to go through LSU's guys, and I went through and I looked. Guess how many Clemson has?
Okay, out of the top 100,
Yes.
I'm going to say 5.
0.
Ooh.
They don't do it. They don't care. He doesn't care. He is willing to light his career on fire to prove a point that you don't need transfers. Guess what? You do, because your team stinks. And he won't do it. And so they didn't do it again. They're not going to get high-name transfers. They're letting Ole Miss pry their guys out of sociology class because they're not going to pay him. He won't play by the new rules. He might as well, you might as well run the wishbone, if we're being honest. Like, it's just, he's not trying. And he thinks, well, I'll just do, I'm great. I've got national championships. We're Clemson. We'll be, it's ridiculous. And there's a reason ESPN did not rank them in the way too early top 25. Now, that doesn't mean Clemson can't win any games, because ESPN doesn't think they're good and FanDuel doesn't think they're good. Doesn't mean they're not good. But it also suggests they're not good. And at this point in the calendar, on January 30th, I'm open to suggestions. We'll prove it on the field Labor Day weekend. I have, let me count, 30 weekends until that happens.
Yeah, that's a lot.
We can't learn anything today. I'm just taken aback by a line that is north of a touchdown and a field goal. That is a huge line.
It is, and it just goes to show you that a lot of people in Vegas, because Vegas knows, they don't think much of Clemson, what they're going to be this year. They don't think much of what Dabo has going on.
You can't even know what LSU is. This is purely, in my estimation.
That is true, though.
A shot at Clemson.
Yeah.
Like, how would you know it? I don't know what LSU is.
You're right. Nobody knows the Sam Levitt
I don't know who's playing right tackle. I don't know who's playing right guard. I don't know if any of these guys they sign on the defensive line besides Prince Williman can rush the passer at all. I don't know who the first 3 wide receivers are.
At all.
I don't know if they can run the ball.
We don't.
I don't know a lot at all. I know they have a lot of new people, and their coach is funny on Twitter. That's about all I know about LSU, and they think that Clemson, who I guess theoretically you do know a lot about, because Clemson is not going to get new guys. They just got all their guys coming up, and most of them haven't played very much because all the guys that they brought back on a preseason top 5 team are gone. I'm bad at handicapping. We've clearly discovered this. I thought, okay, I heard it was out, so I Googled it, and I saw that it was available. So before I clicked it, I said, okay, I think LSU will be 3.
Ooh.
And when I saw 10.5, I was like, well, obviously I'm an idiot. But 2, that is stunning to me. Because think about, I mean, you just don't see 10.5 feels like
that's
Bama,
like
Kentucky.
Yeah.
I mean, it just that 10.5 just seems like a lot. And I'm pretty shocked. So If you're an LSU fan and you feel like you might want to catch a middle, take Clemson. LSU can win by 10 and you win money and the game. So check out FanDuel. I don't have a site that sponsors the show, so I can tell you can go anywhere.
Anywhere.
But, I mean, you want to catch a middle? That's pretty sizable. Bet Clemson. They cover. Lose by 10. You're happy and rich.
Don't get me wrong. It's total disrespect. I think that's the biggest point out of all of this is what you said. It's just a disrespect to Dabo, what he's got going on.
I mean, no one agrees with him except him.
Yes.
No one. We're not doing NIL. We're not doing transfer portal. Everybody's cheating. You may think the way that he likes it is better, but to think you can win that way is asinine. So hopefully LSU runs them off the field. That'd be a lot of fun for us. That's it for hour one. We'll come back, talk some transfer portal stuff in hour number 2 next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Oxner, they want you to get the new year started off right. January's essentially in the rearview mirror, but that doesn't mean you can't get off to a fresh start. You just start in February. How about alcohol-free for 40? They got a challenge there. They're not telling you to give up anything forever. They're just seeing how your body responds when you may take a break, let it recharge. You get access to pre- and post-challenge metrics like body composition, blood pressure, optional labs, so you can actually see the data that shows the changes your body makes over 40 days. People that have done alcohol-free for 40 report clearer skin, more focus, brighter mood, better sleep. Often that happens within the first couple of weeks. So Oxner's Eat Fit will show you some zero-proof drink ideas. They'll give you some nutrition tips, and there's a community of people that are helping you move through. Registration's open, so join in the event. Check them out online. It's alcoholfreefor40.com. That's the number 40. It's alcoholfreefor40.com, and it's all courtesy of our good friends over there at Oxner.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
This new year, Hood Dental wants you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays, a $376 value. With over 3,000 five-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care, Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And for January only, save 15% up to $150 on restorative treatment. Schedule today at hooddentalcare.com.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Supreme Jasmine is premium American-grown rice. From local farms to your table, every grain is supreme. Pick up a bag of jasmine or any other of our supreme American rice.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm John Ryder. The Vikings have fired GM Kwesi Adofo-Mensah after 4 seasons, with Minnesota missing out on the playoffs this past season. The NFL Network's Tom Pelissero on why the Vikings made this move.
The timing is unique. We've seen GM moves been made, at all different times, Rich. We see them made after the draft. We've seen them made in June, July. End of January, 3-4 weeks after the season ends is not common. But clearly the Vikings just felt like, based upon all those meetings they had, that there was not a way to move forward here. Kevin O'Connell remains the head coach. He's one of the top coaches in the business, and they will, when they run this search, be looking for alignment, whether that is with Rob or somebody from the outside.
Tom Pelissero on the Rich Eisen Show. Patriots quarterback Drake May missed practice today with an illness. He's also been dealing with a right shoulder injury as the Patriots get ready to take on the Seahawks in Super Bowl 60 in 9 days. Bills are hiring Pete Carmichael to be their offensive coordinator under new head coach Joe Brady. He was the Broncos' senior offensive assistant this past season. Second round of the Farmers Insurance Open on ESPN. Justin Rose has the lead at 14 under.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Canty. Coming up Monday, Drake May and Sam Darnold will get all the headlines, but I'll tell you which players will decide the Super Bowl. It's Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Now, The Hunt Palmer Show.
Waiting to rise again.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show. Brought to you by Quirks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
This is the moment you've all been waiting for.
Locking down the middle of the day. Live from the Raising Cane studio. This is Hunt Palmer.
Hour 2, last hour of the week here, Hunt Palmer Show, in the Raising Cane studio downtown in the capital city on this Friday. That means we're brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp. We got a lot to do. LSU women's basketball got a victory last night. They'll play again on Sunday. LSU men's basketball back at it tomorrow early. If you missed noon Central Time in Columbia, that game was supposed to be at 5 Central Time in Columbia, but because of snowy conditions potentially in South Carolina, they've moved things up to noon, so we'll talk a little bit about that as we move forward as well. I want to start with some football. ESPN put together, well, let's see who wrote the piece. Max Olson put together a list of the top 100 transfers in college football, 1 through 100. And obviously, as I look at that, I'm going to go, I bet LSU's pretty prominently featured in that. And that would be correct. 8 times LSU was featured in the top 100. 3 times in the top 6 in this list. The number 1 player in the nation, according to Olsen and ESPN, Brendan Sorsby, who, of course, visited LSU, will play for Texas Tech next year. Cincinnati quarterback. I really liked what I saw on tape from Brendan Sorsby and was hopeful when he came on his visit, but he went to Texas Tech, and LSU pivoted and landed the number 3 player, according to ESPN in the transfer portal. That, of course, is Sam Leavitt. I'll be honest, I've got some pretty high hopes for Leavitt this coming year. I know about the injury, but to me, he looks like an ideal fit for what Lane Kiffin wants to do. Is he a run-first quarterback? No, and I don't think Lane wants that. He is a very mobile quarterback who's very capable of getting 11 yards on 3rd and 11 for a first down, who's very capable of busting a 20-yard run up the middle for a touchdown, who's very capable of extending a play and letting one of these speedy wide receivers create separation down the field. He's got a big arm. He's won big games. He's won a conference championship. He's played in a playoff against great defense, and he's a guy that I have really high hopes for, and most agree. 24/7 agrees, On3 agrees, ESPN agrees. Just a matter of whether or not he stays healthy. And I'm hopeful on that front. Just behind Leavitt, number 4, Jordan Seaton comes in. And I wanted to read the scouts' take on Seaton because obviously you've seen a lot of folks very, very high on the former Colorado tackle. says Seton possesses rare range and mobility for his size. He's an aggressive run blocker with the quickness to reach linebackers and pull. His quickness, foot speed, and frame make him an effective zone blocker. He drives defenders and blocks to the whistle once in position. Still needs to refine his hand technique and some of the things he does as a run blocker, but he will make his money on Sundays protecting the QB. He's smooth kicking out of his pass set, meeting edge rushers. He can shoot his hands, lock on, and stay in the front. He's athletic, can bend, and possesses the trait to get better in pass protection. Seton is a potential first-round pick with more consistency. That's what you need at left tackle. Somebody who can keep your quarterback upright. We think that Lane Kiffin is going to create open space for the wide receivers. We think Sam Levitt is a capable passer. None of that matters if your quarterback's on his backside. Seton is the guy to make sure that doesn't happen. Speaking of that, you go to the number 6 player in the country in terms of these rankings, Prince Will Uman-Mielen. He's the one in charge of making sure other quarterbacks don't have any time. And they like him. There are a lot of really good players on this list. And so for LSU to have 3, 4, and 6, 3 of the top 6 with Uman-Mielen speaks volumes. I figured those would be the first 3. I was curious what they thought about the rest. And the next on this list from an LSU perspective is a guy that I've been super high on since he committed. I've told you this on the air. I like his production at a previous stop. I like his fit in the defense, no matter where they put him, whether it's at star or at safety. It is Ty Benefield from Boise State. He comes in at number 34 on this list of the top 100 transfers. I just think this guy is an immediate impact star. A lot of the guys, there are 42 players in this transfer hall. A lot of them will never help LSU. That's just the nature of the beast. At the state the roster was in, specifically wide receiver, specifically offensive line, specifically quarterback, you were going to bring in guys who weren't going to play. That's just the way it had to be. You had no depth. You can't play with Phillip Wright as your only wide receiver. And then you can't go get 3 more for a 4 wide receiver set and just call it a day. So they went and got 9, and they signed 3 more in the high school ranks. And they got 12 plus Phillip Wright. That's 13. 13 guys can't play. You had to bring in depth, obviously, but you had to bring in stars. I think Benefield could be a star. I think he's a great fit to what LSU's trying to do, and I agree with ESPN for ranking him as high as they do at 34. Got to go down to number 70 for the next one, but this is the guy I think that is the most impactful wide receiver that LSU brought in. I mentioned they brought in 9. Jace Brown from Kansas State. Smooth route runner, big play threat, good enough size, about 6'1", and productive in the Big 12. I like Jace Brown. I think he is LSU's number 1 wide receiver target next year. I like a number of the guys they brought in at wide receiver, including 2 of the guys we'll talk about later on this list. But I think Jace Brown is going to lead LSU in catches and receiving yards this coming year. Trey Green, they got him in touchdowns, and that's great because he's awesome. But in terms of wide receivers, I like Jace Brown. He comes in at 70 on this list. Right behind him is a guy that I'm not going to speak in the same glowing terms about. Not because he doesn't have potential. He's got worlds of it. The potential hasn't added up yet, though. It's Jordan Ross. Now, I'm going to swim upstream on this one a little bit, but don't misunderstand me. When you talk to Joe LSU fan who loves recruiting, who loves the portal, who loves Lane Kiffin, who loves the Tigers, and you say, what about Jordan Ross? The first thing Joe LSU fan is going to say is 5-star, pass rusher, stud. I hope so. What I would say is, well, he played 2 years at Tennessee, didn't do a lot of rushing the passer. I'm not telling you he won't rush the passer. I hope he has 11 sacks. I'm telling you he hasn't rushed the passer. I like Ty Benefield because he's made 210 tackles. I like Jordan Seton because he's played left tackle and graded out exceptionally well. I like Sam Levitt because he quarterbacked a playoff team. I like the proven thing. The upside's fun. I like the upside. I don't hate the upside. But if it's only upside, it's when I start to look and go, we sure? And with Jordan Ross, it is only upside. But it's enough upside for the recruiting services to say he's a 5-star and for ESPN to put him at number 71 on this list. Hopeful, not settled on Jordan Ross on the edge. And the last 2 are receivers. Number 78, Winston Watkins. I wrote about Winston Watkins yesterday on LouisianaSports.net. You can read it for free. I'm breaking down every transfer LSU brings in. And I think he's a great fit for Kiffin's offense. Kiffin thought that as well. He's undersized. He's 5'9", 5'10", but he's really fast. He's really quick, and he finds space very well. And if you see the highlights, he was not a go-to guy for Ole Miss as a freshman last year, but he made some big plays. Had 2 huge plays in the Oklahoma game. That's a good Oklahoma defense. He made 2 huge plays. Lane Kiffin likes speed on the outside. He likes guys that can exploit the space and indecision that his offense creates. His offense is there to create indecision. That's what the tempo's for. That's what the formations are for. That's what the concepts are for, to create safeties and corners and linebackers that don't know exactly where they're supposed to be, and then how do you make that hurt? Speed. Watkins has it. He's 78 on this list, 82 on this list, 4 spots behind him, Trey Wilson from Florida. Now, I like Trey Wilson a lot. He's a 5-star. You said Jordan Ross didn't even care about 5 stars. Well, Trey Wilson, when he was healthy, was a freshman All-American. Trey Wilson, in his last game at Florida, torched Georgia. I've seen more from Trey Wilson than I have from Jordan Ross, and the stuff I've seen from Trey Wilson has been awesome if he's been healthy. He's healthy right now. So that's your 8 guys on this list that ESPN really likes, and obviously I do too. It's Levitt at 3, Seton at 4, Prince Will Umanmielen at 6, then you go down to 34 for Ty Benefield, Jace Brown, Kansas State wide receiver at 70, Jordan Ross, former Tennessee edge rusher at 71, Winnie Watkins 78, Trey Wilson at 82. 8 players for LSU named to the top 100 transfers. It's going to be a very, very impactful class. How impactful? We'll just have to see. As I mentioned in the previous segment before we broke for the hour, one thing after I made my notes on the LSU guys, and said I'll talk about that first and foremost, what's Clemson bringing in? Here's your answer. None. None of the top 100. Bold strategy, Cotton. We'll see if it pays off. I think LSU's strategy will pay off better. I like this transfer portal class. ESPN very much does as well. So does On 3. So does 24/7. So does Lane Kiffin. I think it's going to be a pretty damn strong team in 2026. At least we're all hopeful of that. If you want to read that piece, you can over at ESPN.com. We still got 45 minutes to go here on this Friday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Cork's Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp. Kim Mulkey's team got a win last night. LSU men on the floor tomorrow, women's on the floor on Sunday. Talk a little bit of hoops as we wind down on this Friday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
The high tomorrow is 37. You want to play golf? Be my guest. I love it. But most of you think 35, 32, 37. I don't think so. What if I gave you another option? Swing Easy Golf Club in Baton Rouge. You can play Pebble Beach tomorrow. It'll be sun shining. You can get a bucket of beer delivered in there, crank some tunes up in your individual bay. They got the couches set up, the television's there. Pretty nice little Saturday. Go by and see him. Segan at Perkins. Play Pebble Beach. Turn on the driving range setting. Bring 5 friends. Go by yourself. Bring your kiddo. Get him out of the house. It's awesome, awesome way to enjoy some golf when the elements just won't allow it. And you could play tomorrow in the 35-degree temps, or you could go to Swing Easy Golf Club. Book a tee time at swingeasygcbr.com, or just stop in at Segan at Perkins. It's Swing Easy Golf Club in Baton Rouge, swingeasygcbr.com.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
Most roofers just replace your shingles. At Pelican, we diagnose your roof, digging deep down to find the root cause of your roof symptoms. Now cough for me. Good. We don't ignore your roof's issues, we address them. Let's just take care of this right here. Helping your roof to become the best version of itself. Interesting that you would say that. How does that make you feel? So call Pelican Roofing for your free roof checkup today.
Lockmair to Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades, but our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lockmair to Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit louisianapropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar, but instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
Friday show is brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp. Working towards the weekend here. Appreciate you hanging with us. LSU and South Carolina men's basketball moved from 5 o'clock Central to noon Central tomorrow. You'll have to stream it to watch it because these two teams, not so good. South Carolina's horrible. Horrible. And they came into the PMAC and just blitzed LSU. We're up 28 points. Let me tell you about South Carolina briefly. I'm not going to break this game down too much. This is going to take 6 minutes. But I looked it up and wrote some stuff down. South Carolina's 11-10. They're 2-6 in the league. That's better than LSU's 1-7 mark. And they won in the PMAC. So you would suggest South Carolina's better than LSU. They beat them and they got a game up on them in the standings. Sure. South Carolina's 6 league losses are by a total of 124 points. LSU has one more loss, 7 losses, and their combined losses are by 61, less than half. South Carolina lost by 12, 33, 23, and wait for it, 47 on Wednesday. Florida went in there and treated them like a church league team. They're awful. They're 109th in offensive efficiency. They're 285th in the country in three-point percentage. This team that came into your building in the first half and went 10 out of 13 from 3 is 285th in the country in three-point percentage. They're awful. You let Elijah Strong come into the PMAC. In 25 minutes of work, he dropped 30 points on 10 of 15 shooting, made all 4 of his threes, and 6 of 6 from the free throw line. Larry Bird showed up in the PMAC. This is going to sound ridiculous, and I'm not even picking LSU to win the game. I'm not even doing it. I'm not picking LSU to win the game. They should definitely win this game. I'm not picking them. South Carolina will win the game. Is that a good enough pick for you? South Carolina will win the game. I'll pick that. There's no reason South Carolina should win the game. They are terrible. Now LSU is not any good either. Close losses don't mean anything. They're 1-7, and I gave you the eulogy yesterday. So we're not going to break this thing down any further than that. You go over there and you fight for your life and try to win a game. I told you this yesterday during the eulogy. I'm going to be pulling for him. I'm going to be watching. I'm taking Myers Man out of the house for a little bit in the morning because it's 37 degrees and he'll go nuts if he sits in the living room for 4, 5, 6 hours straight. So we're going to go do something. I'll be back by noon and I will watch, and I will have a write-up on LouisianaSports.net. I'll have a preview of the game too. But know that that's not some sort of false hope. That's not where I am. I've resigned to the fact of where we are. Doesn't mean when the purple and gold comes running out of the tunnel on the TV that I'm not going to pull for them. It's in the DNA. It's a different vibe than a bowl game. The bowl game, I just can't conjure up because I don't think anyone's trying. None of the coaches are there. None of the players are there. I'm hurt. I'm opting out. I'm going to the NFL. I'm opting out. I'm transferring. I'm opting out. I'm just not going to play in that. And I got a quarterback that's a wide receiver. I don't care about the bowl game. A basketball game that actually counts in a season that has more than half of its league games left, I'm going to emotionally invest in for some reason. I don't have the ability to turn that off. If you have, good on you. But I hope they go beat South Carolina. If they don't beat South Carolina, I'm going to have to talk about it on Monday. I know. South Carolina was up 28 in the PMAC. I was there. Literally watched it. Went to the postgame. Promise you. I know it happened. I don't have a great explanation for it, but I know it happened. We'll see what they can do. Meanwhile, Kim Mulkey's team is rolling a little bit, and that's a good thing for that group that got off to a bumpy start in league play, and you had to criticize the non-conference schedule to do it. We talked to Matthew Bruni about it yesterday, but they lose to Kentucky by a bucket at home. Heck of a shot late in that game from the left wing for the Cats, and then go up to Nashville and get beat by 4 by a pair of teams that were ranked in the top 12 at the time, and since then beat Georgia by 21, beat Texas by 5, who was ranked second at the time, thumped Oklahoma in Norman, top 15 team in Norman by 19 points. Then you went to College Station. They're not any good. You showed that. You beat them by 44. And then against Florida at home, not very good, but you beat them by 29. So they're cooking. They're really good offensively. The Arkansas game was another impressive effort in the PMAC. They win that game by 22. Now you take on a ranked Alabama team on Sunday morning in the PMAC. Sure, they'll have a great crowd in there for that. And you should win that game before things get really interesting for the next 3. At Texas, at Auburn, and then you welcome South Carolina to the PMAC. Is that Super Bowl Sunday? No, it's the Sunday. It's Saturday. Saturday after. Got that Saturday night game against South Carolina. That'll be all eyes on the PMAC for that one. So good on Kim for getting that team playing well after a bumpy run there at the beginning. Offensively, they're just explosive, and that's been – you know that Kim is going to get the defense figured out. She always does. That's her side of the ball that she just demands excellence from. But to get the offense cooking the way it is, Flau'jae and Michaela are going to do their thing, but to get Jada Richard playing the way she is, it's been a heck of a go for him. And we talked to Bruni about it. He's better on this than me. I can't even fake knowing what's going on in the Southeastern Conference outside of South Carolina, Texas, few others. I can't give you much on Ole Miss or Missouri, and I certainly can't give you much on UConn. But Bruni thinks they're a threat. They're a threat. That's a good thing for Kim Mulkey and that squad there in Baton Rouge. I think they're outperforming what people thought after that bad start to 0-2. So there's your basketball look here on this Friday as we chug along. I want to tell you about our friends at Fabry Chevrolet GMC. You can check them out online. It's at FabryChevrolet.com. Hey, might be time to get a new ride, right? New year, new ride. Maybe your lease is up. Maybe it's just time. Fabry Chevrolet GMC has got a great inventory, and you can see every car in that inventory online at FabryChevrolet.com. So if you're looking for Chevy Silverado, want a new truck, they got it. Maybe you're looking at a Denali or a Yukon on the GMC side. Saw one on the road, thought it looked great. Check it out at FabryChevrolet.com. You're going to get great customer service with the Fabry family. You're going to get an incredible buying experience. They've been proving that to you for 35 years in this community. And they're so thrilled to have a Chevrolet GMC point in St. Francisville on Highway 61. If you're up there in Point Capee, if you're up there in one of the Felicianas, it's right there. If you're East Baton Rouge, West Baton Rouge, just north of town, and Baker, Scotlandville. Right there. It's a short drive up Highway 61 in St. Francisville. See my friends at Fabry Chevrolet GMC. They're online at fabrychevrolet.com. We've still got 35 minutes to go here on this Friday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. We're brought to you by Cork's Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp. Come back with a little bit more next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
One Bath and Closets. OneBathAndClosets.com is the website. David Vaughn and his team, 30 years redesigning and remodeling bathrooms and closets. Safety is a big deal in the bathroom, especially as folks you love age. If there's someone in your life that is aging that you think the bathroom could be a hazardous situation for, you cannot eliminate that risk. You can mitigate it. Non-slip floors, showers that allow you to have a bench, walk-in tubs for comfort, safety, convenience, and you can get guardrails if there are some slippery areas. These are things that David Duvall and his team do all the time that not everyone thinks of. That's something, when I had that conversation with David about these services he provides initially, he was like, yeah, this is something we do a lot, but people don't think about it because they don't know that it exists. It does. So if there's someone in your life that's aging and you want to talk about what you may be able to do, just have the conversation with David. That doesn't cost anything. Go to onebathandclosets.com, request that free consultation. Know that financing is available as well. It's One Bath and Closets. Find them online, onebathandclosets.com.
Who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit, nor by taking it easy. Now the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you at sunequip.com.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith Sean Fagan and Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith Sean Fagan and Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more...
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Cork's Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp.
Chugging along here on this Friday. Got about 30 minutes to go here. Appreciate you hanging out with us. I want to talk a little bit about high school recruiting. I'm very curious to watch this staff work. And I'm very curious to see how they attack both the high school ranks and the portal ranks. It's a new staff, on the offensive side especially. It's a new era. There are new rules in terms of financial commitments and the way that you're able to do those things. And I'm just fascinated by how Lane Kiffin wants to allocate his resources and his time in building rosters. I'm watching what they're doing right now, and there was a time where you knew what the LSU head coach was going to do. He was going to come in, scour the state, sink every available resource into New Orleans and Lafayette and Shreveport and Monroe over to Lake Charles, and try to get as many of the top 10 kids in the state as you possibly could, work Houston hard, work East Texas hard, get some out of Florida, some out of Georgia, and then one out of Mississippi or two. And that's like basically it. Like that was what it was forever, when it was done right. And is that still the way you want to do it? Do you want to sign 25 high schoolers? Do you want to sign 14 high schoolers? Because high schoolers have a pretty high probability of leaving. I don't have a right or wrong. I have my feelings on it. I think for an LSU football coach to neglect high school recruiting in the state of Louisiana would be a huge mistake. And it's clear Lane Kiffin is not. He came here because Nick Saban told him, Lane, this is the best job in football. I inferred that from Lane's introductory press conference. Then Lane said it. So we know that's the phone call that was made. And when Nick said that, he was talking about the high school kids, the monopoly you have in the state, the passion and the backing and the history and the stadium and the facilities and all of that. But Nick didn't coach in the revenue sharing area, period. He never had to deal with that. Nick never had to fight over roster funds with the women's basketball coach. He never had to fight with the baseball coach. Now, I don't know how much Lane is. I don't know how much Verge is going to allocate moving forward, but there is no debate that it's a different world than Nick Saban coached it. And I think we'll get a grip in the first 2 years of what Lane Kiffin's plans are with recruiting. You saw him pull in 42 portal kids, and you go, well, it's clear he's going to go portal. He only signed 14 high school kids. He signed 42 portal kids. It's portal. This is a unique circumstance. It's his first year on the job. It's his first week on the job when he could sign the high school kids. So that doesn't count. I want to see what he does for the long haul. And if it were me, I would be signing 20, 22 high school kids every year with heavy Louisiana roots. There's always going to be Lance Hurd and Walker Howard and Ahmad Bro and Teron Francis. Those guys are always going to exist that show up, highly rated Louisiana kids gone after a year or two. That's always going to happen. But I'm willing to take that chance because I want Will Campbell and I want Emory Jones and I want Harlem Berry and I want Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas. I want Tradez Green. I want those guys for 2, 3, 4 years. So I just want to watch. And it's very interesting to watch in this cycle because we know that Lane Kiffin signed Suntarine Perkins as a 5-star and one other. He signed 2 5-stars his whole time at Ole Miss. Only one from the state of Mississippi, Suntarine Perkins. And you look at this past class, and you had Big Rich Anderson, you had Lamar Brown, 2 5-stars from inside the state. Corey Barber just got his 5th star from Alabama, who he had gotten committed to Ole Miss. So feather in Lane's cap with Billy Glasscock and Charlie Weiss Jr., George McDonald. But look at what is on your plate for the next class. Number one, you got Easton Royal at Brother Martin, who Lane Kiffin visited last week, who is the number 7 player nationally from New Orleans. He's committed to Texas. We'll see, but Easton Royal, right down the road, number 7 player in the nation. The number 9 player in the nation is Zyron Forstall, former Jesuit Blue Jay, now at IMG. Many think that USC is a strong player for him. Perhaps, but he's got roots in New Orleans. Then you've got Elijah Haven, who's the number 14 player in the country. Probably an Alabama lean to this point. Maybe LSU hasn't even talked to him. I don't know. But it doesn't change the fact that he's here. Ahmad Hudson is the number 17 player in the country. Number 1 tight end. Dad played basketball at LSU. I just rattled off 4 players in the top 17, and I'm not done because Albert Simeon is number 18. He's a 5-star. In the state of Louisiana this year, Easton Royal, Zyron Forstall, Elijah Haven, Ahmad Hudson, Albert Simeon. 5 5-stars on Rivals in the state. 5 of them. And then you added another piece to this puzzle, which I include as part of LSU's program. It's not a state thing. It's an LSU thing. And more importantly, right now, it's a Corey Raymond thing. The best corner, I don't care where he lives. Eli Ricks, California, got him. DJ Pickett, Florida, got him. Derek Stingley, 3 minutes down the road, got him. LSU with Corey Raymond gets the number 1 corner a lot, no matter where he's from. And oh, by the way, Joshua Dobson, number 1 corner, he's on campus this weekend. He's from North Carolina. He's a 5-star. Rivals rates him the number 5 player in the nation. And Corey Raymond has visited him. Now he's visiting LSU. And I've seen this story before. You have very close access based on your program basis. The state of Louisiana and Corey Raymond. 5 or 6 5-stars, depending on how you want to phrase it. I'll call it 6. 6 5-stars. Now, I know that Easton Royal's committed to Texas. I know Zyron Forstall is not expected at LSU right now. I know Elijah Haven doesn't even have LSU in his top 4. So I'm not saying, well, LSU's going to get 6 5-stars in this class. Wow, I'm not that silly. But it's just the access. And to dismiss that, I think, would be a grave error. And clearly, LSU is not. Lane Kiffin saw Albert Simeon this week. Lane Kiffin saw Ahmad Hudson this week. Lane Kiffin saw Easton Royal last week. Josh Dobson is on campus this week. So any inclination, which I don't think anyone truly had that, but just to shut the door on it, any inclination that Kiffin was going, well, I'll just get the 40 kids out of the portal every year. If 15 high school kids want to show up, like, we'll take them. But I don't even know where the freshman dorms are. Like, that ain't it. And this class of Louisiana ties is impressive. I wanted to take a look at the player rankings that Rivals put together for this year, for the state of Louisiana, and just see like what LSU's threshold is and what LSU needed to do this year. And I rattled off those top names to you because LSU did well in this first class, like Lamar Brown, Richard Anderson. You got Jabari Mack. Like, LSU did a good job of pulling those in. And if you look right on the back end of all those names that I was rattling off of Easton Royal and Zyron Forstall and Elijah Haven and Ahmad Hudson and Albert Simeon, you do have Pop Houston, who I talked to Preston Guy about in the first hour. And that's a guy that is committed. And LSU let go of its incumbent staff and the whole offensive staff left, and he stayed committed. And they hired Lane Kiffin, and he stayed committed. And it feels like he's the likely dude for this class for LSU to come in and be your quarterback in this class. And that's a guy that Rivals thinks highly of. And I think it's a guy that appears to fit into what Lane Kiffin wants to do pretty well. He's a good athlete. He's got a good enough arm. He's not tall, but that's okay. Trinidad Chambliss, not 6'4". Doing all right. So this is an interesting year. Lane Kiffin is a little bit late to the punch, but the good news is that it's not as important as it once was to sink your teeth in these relationships for 3-4 years. Now you got to bring the organization and what things look like financially to bear. And it appears LSU's really got that under wraps because that's what they did brilliantly during the portal cycle. You had to, when you were bringing those kids in, while they were transfers and they were in for a visit for 24 hours, 40 hours, 48 hours, whatever the case may be, when they were here for a quick amount of time and they had a speed dating deal going on where they were on to the next visit, if you didn't show them things, they were able to lay things out and get a lot of guys to commit on the spot. So clearly LSU is got a plan. Lane Kiffin alluded to that plan in his introductory press conference, and that's going to help them in establishing these relationships pretty quickly. These guys sign in 10 months. You've got 10 months to do what you can with these guys. Everybody feels like LSU has a great chance with Ahmad Hudson. The rest you're going to have to work. Pete Golding and Frank Wilson were with Albert Simeon today or yesterday, one of the two. You know that Frank Wilson is going to be in South Louisiana. I did notice in the picture, I did not see an Ole Miss logo visible anywhere on Frank. So that's an interesting, probably insignificant tidbit, but I found it. But I want to watch how Lane Kiffin puts together rosters. And I want to see how well he does in Louisiana. And I want to see how well he does in the high school ranks. And I want to see how many of those guys he can keep around. And I want to see how deeply LSU goes into the transfer portal year over year. I don't think you want to go in for 42 guys every year. I think you'd rather, instead of 42 and 15, go, what is 42 and 15 is 57. I think you'd probably rather go 25 and 32. Maybe. Does that sound better? It does to me. It's just a new era. I'm not willing to plant my flag on that. And I think it may be dependent upon how good the high school crop is and what the case may be. I heard an interesting thing that Jay Johnson brought up. He brought up the other day in an interview. He said, the thing about the portal is you can't control the market, like what goes in. And that's true in the high school ranks, but it feels like the high school ranks, you've got a longer time to evaluate. The portal, like, it happens and then it's over. And you have such a quick time. You can look at, okay, who are the edge guys that we've got some relationships with over the course of 2 years that are guys we might want to take. In the portal, it's like, all right, who's in? Can we get him on a visit now? Oh, he just committed to North Carolina? Crap. Next. Like, it's slower pace for recruiting, so you feel like you have a lot longer at the buffet line. You got to go in the portal, and so that can be difficult at times. This is a monster opportunity, this class is, for LSU football. You're behind the 8 ball right now with a lot of these guys, with Texas commitments and not being in top 4s and transfers to IMG and all that. But still, you're new, you're flashy, you're fun, and you've got some cash to throw around. And if you can go out there and win a bunch of games this year, create great environments in Tiger Stadium, get these guys to visit, show them what it's about, maybe you flip some of these guys. It'll be interesting to see. We'll certainly be monitoring. One of the better classes that LSU high school is, that's a funny Freudian slip, that Louisiana high school has ever put out in this class. We'll see how well LSU can handle things. I just routed off 6 guys in the top 18 that you've got real connections to. So that's it for a little LSU football here. Our Friday show is brought to you by Corks, Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp. We will come back and close it out next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Lifetime Roofing. LifetimeRoofingLA.com is that website. Look, they got core values at Lifetime Roofing. Customer service, quality, and integrity. They take pride in setting themselves apart from other companies, and there are a lot of them in the roofing game. They're involved in the community. They're there helping in times of need, not just signing people up for new roofs. If you feel like there may have been some damage in the previous storms, no matter where you are in the state of Louisiana, call Lifetime Roofing or check them out at lifetimeroofingla.com. Have them come out and inspect it. Maybe you don't need a new roof. Maybe you need a repair. They can do it. Maybe you just need a tune-up to fortify things. They can do that. maybe you need a new roof. They can work with you and your insurance carrier to make sure that that process runs smoothly. That's their promise to you at Lifetime Roofing. And oh, by the way, as of January 1st, if you need a new roof, a lifetime workmanship warranty is available from my friends at Lifetime Roofing. When you think Lifetime Roofing, think lifetime workmanship warranty. Check them out online, lifetimeroofingla.com.
Make Raising Cane's the first stop for your second line. Get extra saucy with a Cane's doubloon for just $1 that scores you extra cane sauce through April 3rd with any purchase. Let the good times roll this Mardi Gras with Raising Cane's. One love.
This new year, Hood Dental wants you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays, a $376 value. With over 3,000 5-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care, Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And for January only, save 15% up to $150 on restorative treatment. Schedule today at hooddentalcare.com.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google, based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith Sean Fagan and Associates, we know this and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Corks, Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp.
Friday's show is brought to you by Corks, Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp. Invite you to swing on by for, it would be a significantly late lunch at this point. If you're eating lunch at 3 o'clock, have at it. That is a late lunch. Early dinner, maybe. If you're feeding a family, got a birthday party or office party, gathering of any sort coming up, family reunion, or you're going to be tailgating out at the box in a couple of weeks, Corks loves to do catering. Keep them in mind for your catering events. Get you those big trays, the crispy fried catfish, jumbo Gulf shrimp, shoestring fries, honey butter rolls. Got all the sauces your heart can desire. It's a fantastic spot on Government between Foster and Jefferson. Check out the menu, corksfishandshrimp.com. You'll see the catering options right there. Just give them a call. Give them a little notice. They are happy to help you out with all your catering needs. One of the more anxious moments in my existence is when the shop calls and says, hey, we've got an update on your vehicle.
Ooh.
That update could be great, like there's nothing wrong, come get it, or disaster, and anything in between. And I, because I don't know anything about vehicles, have no idea what they're going to tell me. No idea, and it's very anxious.
Well, I definitely feel you as somebody whose car was just in the shop for 2 weeks. I just got it back like last week, so it's definitely it always feels like, oh, my car's in the shop, and it just feels like, why is it taking so long for my car specifically to get out the shop?
I'm not even worried about that. I'm just worried about what it's going to cost. Sometimes they say, hey, it's $81. Like, I don't want to pay $81, but like if it's $81, like I'll make the mortgage. You come back and tell me it's $4,000. It's like, well, I don't want to pay $4,000. I don't really want to pay $81, but I certainly don't want to pay $4,000. And they could tell me anything. It's like the Seinfeld episode where George is like, I mean, they could do anything. It's that you need a new Johnson rod. I don't know what a Johnson rod is. Like, I have no idea. I hope the shop's not listening. They can take me for all I'm worth. It's not very much, but they could. I just have no clue what they're going to tell me. The last time I brought it in, they said, yeah, we didn't see any problems. Just come pick it up. And that was great. And I didn't have any problems for a while. And now it tells me the engine may have some overheating issues. Ooh. Hopefully they can just pour some coolant in there and just deal. I don't know what's going on, but I do know that I'm off the air in 5 minutes and 10 seconds, and I'm going to call him 30 seconds after that.
Okay.
And I'll either cry or rejoice, but probably very little in between.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be an anxious 5 minutes. We'll play Take It or Leave It, but I'm not going to be in a very take it or leave it mood.
Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Today's hottest stories in sports, news, and sometimes even Hunt's life. The question is, will he take them or leave them?
Okay, well, I started. Also, you're not in the best mood. Yeah, I know. I was about to say you're not in the best mood, so I'm like, okay, well, Cooper Flag continues to make NBA history in his rookie season.
He's good.
As he scored a career-high 49 points and 10 rebounds, setting the NBA record for most points scored by a teenager in an NBA game that was set by Cliff Robinson March 9th, 1980 at 19 years old.
Really?
So, yeah, no, I thought LeBron would have had it.
Me too.
He does not. He has the youngest 50-point career game, so, whatever. So is Cooper Flag living up to the hype? Take it or leave it?
I would have to take it. He's pretty good. I saw some highlights from last night. Obviously didn't watch the game, but he's good. The change of direction, the suddenness for somebody that long, and to get to the rim like that, he can shoot it
and
too.
He can shoot though. That's the biggest thing. Is he can shoot.
They got him a good look in his last shot in college to win that game, and he just didn't make it. Short-armed it from the top of the key, but it doesn't seem to be bothering him now. I like the Mavs throwbacks too. They had the green and blue going yesterday.
Yes.
I liked it.
Yes, always clean. So, also to add that was like a retirement jersey night, and the guy that retired, I think it was Mark McGuire. Flag actually broke his record that night. Yeah, so he had the previous scoring record for like a rookie for the Mavericks.
Did you see that the Cavs did a throwback this week?
Yeah, with LeBron.
With LeBron's debut jersey?
Yes, like it's crazy because we're talking about a guy that's been playing since 2003.
I know. I was in high school. I remember it well. I was a sophomore in high school.
And I was 3 years old, so that make it
great. Grand, wonderful.
All right, so former Saints and now current offensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks, Clint Kubiak, is set to take either the Cardinals or Raiders head coaching job after the Super Bowl. This is confirmed today by Adam Schefter. So it's not really a take it or leave. It's kind of a would you rather. But would you rather take the Cardinals job or the Raiders job if you're Clint Kubiak?
I think it's got to be the Cardinals.
You take the Cardinals job?
I mean, Kyler's going to be gone. You'll start over on that.
Number one pick, though, Raiders. Mendoza.
Yeah, I have no trust in that organization.
Yeah.
I know that they're in a brand new stadium and not in the garbage Coliseum like they were, and maybe things are a little bit different.
Vegas lifestyle.
Flynn tells horror stories about Oakland. Maybe I'm wrong. I could get on board with either one. Neither one would be in my top 25 choices
that's not
just
ideal.
in a vacuum.
Yeah.
So that's tough.
All right, so the AFC North is sending another quarterback to the Pro Bowl with Shedeur Sanders, as today Cincinnati Bengals backup quarterback Joe Flacco has been added to the AFC roster.
Wait a second.
Yes, and this is his first career Pro Bowl, by the way. So Joe Flacco entering his prime in year 19. Take it or leave it.
This is the stupidest I've ever heard. Okay. I don't even know what to say.
Joe Flacco, Shedeur.
Here's the take. This is the take. You can't even get mad. They took the game away. They run around on cones and try to hit
like
cardboard boxes and whatever.
Ball.
It doesn't matter. I guess the point would be if I'm a GM, I'm certainly not going to attach any financial gains to Pro Bowl appearances in
no
contracts.
incentives. Yeah.
Because if I got backup quarterbacks hitting contract incentives and I got Shedeur Sanders throwing more interceptions than touchdowns and I'm throwing contract incentives on that, we've lost the plot. So I'm not going to get upset about it because there's nothing to be upset about. It's a stupid, foolish exhibition of, it looks like the Office Dunder Mifflin
It's
games on
just
the
a get
island.
together at this point.
Yeah, but I can't be attaching money to it. Is the take.
Well, hey, man. So Joe Flacco, first Pro Bowl, year 19. I mean,
look.
Hey, man.
Joe Flacco has had a great career, no doubt. Great career. I do like when Stabby, the comedian, talks about him in his Ravens crying videos.
Yes.
He's cool. We're done?
Yeah, we're done. That's it for Take It or Leave It, man.
That's it for us this week.
Pro Bowl Flacco.
We are, next week, we'll have a Monday show, and that'll be the last Monday show with no baseball until hopefully close to July, which I'm excited about. I will talk about baseball on Monday, but there won't be a game the following week. But we are 2 weeks away from opening day at the Box Fired Up 40. If you missed any of our show today, catch it on demand wherever you find your sound. Remember, Hunt on LSU, Hunt on Saints for those specific networks. I'm out of here. Musso is going to drive you home on AFR. We'll see you Monday. Have a great and warm weekend if you can. It's Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors.